Hey, all you cool cats and kittens. This is Carol Baskin from Big Cat Rescue. Okay, no, I'll get better at it. But I need to hear the tone to get exactly her tone, but I'll totally be able to do it. Just watch. Hey, all you cool cats and kittens. I need it written too. Hey, all you cool cats and kittens. This is Carol Baskin from Big Cat Rescue. And okay, anyway, let's get into the reading. Or should we try it one more time? No, I feel like I'm too low. I need to go hear her. I haven't watched it in a few days. I've kept it on repeat though. I wonder how many of you also have. You get so many new details. Every time you watch it again, I keep going, oh my gosh, I did not catch that. Oh my gosh, I cannot wait for season 2. But I was instantly like, oh yeah, I can totally do her voice, but I need to hear it. And also it's good morning for me, so it's sleepy voice right now. But anyway, how about we get into the reading? So I love this energy, and I'm so excited that I got to say that, because when have you heard me say that in forever now? I don't think I've said that since I've been back to doing the podcasts. So I know it's been a while since I've said I love the energy, so that's fantastic. Okay, that was the first part. Okay, so today is kind of special in that there is, and really kind of the moment we really start the day, you're going to notice that something is different. And what you're being asked to do is to keep your words on the vision of what you've been thinking of and wanting to create in your life and wanting to give attention to build in your life, whatever that thing is, or those things, because a lot of you have things you're like, no, there's this, that, and that other thing. And, and it's what I kind of talked about at this time, how we are to have these things birthed in us from a hitting rock bottom point, or from an emptying out, or from a fast, and, I love how there's such a rise in information now that's really talking about, wow, fasting changes everything. Stopping things changes everything. And we don't know until we do it. And it's always going to be the hardest thing to do, but it's always going to be the best thing that we can do. And we only know it when we walk it. Same as getting older, and how, getting older is so much better for your insides. Like, you grow into such a better person when you get older. I was talking about that. I was like, getting older is so much better for your insides, but it's so much worse for your outsides. But what you don't realize is that when you're younger, you need the outside to keep you going. When you're younger, you need the outside to make you feel okay about who you are inside. But then as you get older, your insides are what keep you going. So you're not going to have this happiness and this joy and all this other stuff if you don't get the insides to a point where you don't need the outside to be what determines your stability on the inside. So I just had that thought like an hour ago, so I still kind of need to put it together, but it's kind of profound, I think, when you kind of sit in it and think about it. But yeah, so getting older is good for your insides, but not so much for your outsides. And that's just how it goes. What were we even talking about? So, pay attention to what is really getting you to settle into this yes position of this is it. And we're having things come into our lives that maybe don't make any sense. And maybe that's kind of how it's been for a while. But now particularly, things don't really make sense, and there is still to be this intuitive kind of tone to it where you're feeling called to things, or synchronicity is bringing you to things, or things just are rolling down into this pile and here they are, and you're like, okay, here this is. So things are definitely coming our way to process, but what is coming your way maybe should have aspects of it that aren't exactly direct and clear, but this is for the purpose of you not just jumping headfirst into things and not really giving it your body the time to process, which is what we do a lot in life. And it's kind of like that same thing about the outsides. And it's what I said, like when I moved to Durango, and actually a little bit before, really kind of like when I left the house where Moon Bear died. Really, nothing has been stable since then, and nothing was stable then either, but it was stablest then. And then it just really went off kilter. But what ended up happening, and especially when I got to Durango, is that I was constantly being tested with something that was superficial. And it would be so superficially perfect that I would just be like, oh my gosh, have to jump into this. This is it. Oh my gosh. But even one, like moving into this house. And one of the things is the view is so beautiful. And there's so many things that were so beautiful. But there was even a stained glass sun and moon, in these windows. And it was like, oh my gosh, what are the chances, and all these round windows. And, the Zia sign is all over, which is the sign for New Mexico, which is where I was moving from. So everything was like visually, it just caught me. And I didn't really access the things that my body was also saying, and the things with my value system that were also saying, no, that's not really what I wanted. I wanted something better in regards to these other things. There were all these things that my body was saying, this other stuff that I was just like, but look at the visual. This is magic. This must be what's meant to be. And then I went through the whole time I was here, just making all these really bad decisions that were all based on this superficially beautiful thing that just looked like it fits so perfectly. And then every one of them was a big flunker, and like none of them, and what I had said, or how I describe it, is nothing could hold up what it gave as a front. Not one person, not one thing. The house couldn't hold up what the superficial, like, oh, looky, and then, even one of the things like, had, the floors had, radiant heat, and the entire 2 levels of all the floors were radiant heat. And that was to be the main source of warming in the winter. And then it turns out that the piping that was put in them was recalled because it breaks apart. So the whole house is they all backed up. So it doesn't work at all. So there was no radiant floor heating. But that was something I wouldn't have known until I got in here. Oh yeah, the internet too. How, like, for me to load a video, I have to go into town and drive around, or go for a hike, or go to someone's house, or go to the coffee shops and libraries, which I can't do anymore. So it's been even harder. Everything has been so incredibly hard and tangled since I got to Durango. But fortunately, my lease is ending soon. So that's where I'm really stoked to kind of get my life back and to get this solid foundation. I should tell you this. This is something even that's really, it's all just huge, I think. But I later found out that I live kind of on a manufactured hill because the hill was built up, and the professionals who were doing it got fired really early on in the job, and just people who were just like handyman came in and did it. So the people who know about this were like, if you even think about buying that, you have to get the foundation checked. It's not stable. And I was like, oh my gosh, like I've not been stable since I got here either. So it's another aspect of, and that's what I would say about my life and everything. The moment I got here, I have been having to live on a 3-legged chair, and it's been exhausting, but I'm so strong and I'm so determined, and I got Mars in the last degree of Sagittarius, 1 degree off my ascendant. So I can go and 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 go. There's like nothing that can stop me but death. But this has been getting old, and fortunately I'm so stoked that I'm now aware of the thing that's I've been in this illusionary space where everything is so perfect. So now I do have to go, wait a minute. It looks like this, but what is holding it up? And that's what I told you 2020 was going to be about for us, because now our outsides are what is outside of us. Our insides is what is outside of us. So it's like getting older, you have to have insides to hold yourself up. You're not going to have your looks. Like when you're younger, you have looks. So you're like, whatever, don't need my insides. And you really don't for a couple of decades. But you do need to be developing those things. You do need to be becoming a beautiful thing on the inside that's authentic, where the words are kind and empowering and not depleting. And that's something that I was really shocked to come to find, and it was really just in tuning into other people's energy. But I was so shocked how many people say really hurtful things about themselves to themselves. And I'm someone who doesn't do that, actually. So there are people who don't. You can know that. But when I tune into people's energy, I can feel that. And it shocks me that you could do that, but it's something that allowed you to do that. But when you get it, it's kind of waking up to consciousness and where you can never go back again. And this time expresses that you need to start over and kind of be like a baby, paying really big attention when you do those kind of things, but then like talking to yourself like a baby, or being soft with the healing process, and recognizing that is so destructive. And if you're doing that inside, you're gonna have an outside that not only shows that, but that others feel when they get around you. They're not gonna know why they don't want to just race up and hug you and squeeze you and love you to pieces. There's something that makes them be standoffish, and it can be where your energy is now like, filled with hatred or judgment or finding fault in yourself, where you're allowing your mind words to destroy yourself. Because all those things are like false, they're just false programming things. They're just things like you can stay on the computer and it has all these bugs because you haven't redone it in a little bit, and it's just going slow and everything's taking forever, and that just froze up again. And you can continue to stay in that and keep doing it and be frustrated, or you can reboot the computer and have it running like normal again. But you have to do that. You have to do those actions. You have to make those moves. And this time is for you to kind of go for those things and grab those things that you do want to get into better position, and ones that are more honoring of you, and ones that are more valuing of you, and that hold you, and that support you, and that give you all those things that you didn't get, which is why all those things you didn't get, you now keep attracting, because you're saying those words inside that are essentially drawing them in again. So this is like wake up call time, and really kind of going for what you want, not holding back, and keeping the words on the ultra positive, like with an arrow shooting up. Even if you can like direct them that way when they go down, just like bring them back up. Bring them back to the up, and keep yourself in this space that is encouraging this new you to grow into a better place. Okay, my loves, we gotta go. I hope you had fun. I'll talk to you soon, okay? All right. I don't know what kind of bye she does. I'll have to go learn that. Okay, I love you. Bye.